YouTube. So got a call this morning about some bees. Figured I would bring you guys along. You can guess where I'm at a lumber yard or wood lot, and they cut a tree down yesterday. Had some honeybees in it. Don't know if I was interested in trying to get the bees out of it. So got everything loaded up here on the truck, some boxes and frames, and we're fixing to try to do a cutout on this log right here behind me. So see all those bees there on the outside, and this is going to be their main entrance. I was out here this morning looking at it, and they're coming in and out of this hole back here as well. So I believe this log is going to be hollow from about this point right in here all the way up to about right in here. So I think this is going to be a pretty good hive with a lot of bees. My plan is to come here and cut a notch out of it. Hopefully come in here and cut a triangle pie down this edge, just in at an angle till I hit that hollow area back here at an angle till I can hit that hollow area, and hopefully I can lift that out of there and be able to access the majority of that hive. I don't have one of those fancy bee vacs. I've done a lot of this right here. I'd be getting me one. But anyway, I'm gonna get after it. We're gonna try to get them out of this log and into one or two of those boxes. Got some rubber bands where I'm gonna try to save what comb that I can. They've already felled this tree yesterday and cut it up, so I don't know what kind of shape everything's gonna be when we get in there. I think it's gonna be okay. But anyway, I think we're gonna have quite a few big hive, a lot of bees. We're going to try to locate that queen while we're in there. Got a queen clip ready in case we can find her. And yeah, let's kind of take you guys along, let you see how we're going to do this. stung. Didn't get stung at all, but they did right here at the end when I was standing on the other side. They were starting to bump me. I'm gonna let them calm down a minute. I know we've gotten into there. Hopefully I didn't make too much of a mess of it with that chainsaw. I'm gonna find something to pry with and see if we can pry this off here. All right, there we go, guys. So got it opened up into there. So it's going to start narrowing down back down here. This is going to be the majority of it up here. Just until we got into some honey right here. Bunch of honeycomb right there. Let's get all that off there that we can. Actually not as hollow as what I thought it was going to be, but we'll get what we can out of here. Queen's probably not going to be up here, but we're going to a bunch of good capped honey there. Just going to drop it here in the cooler. But we're going to, the whole time we're working on this, we're going to keep an eye out for that queen. We're going to try to frame some of this comb too when we start getting into the brood nest. Alright guys, just popped this big piece off right here. We opened up a big chamber of that comb. You can see it going way back up in there. We're going to grab our smoke and smoke them a little bit. See what kind of comb we've got in here. Bunch of honeycomb right there on the edge breaking off. Looking for that queen in here. I want some honey? No? Alright, I know what you're missing. Hang on, I'll bring it to y'all. Honeybees, a lot of times they are. They can be mean, but I just cut all this up right here on top of them and they wasn't after me either.
Have they stung you at all?
Nope, not yet. You don't want to try it here, I'll give you more. Yeah, it's good. It's real good. Just throw it in your mouth and chew on it. Yeah, it is. Y'all have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Alright, so I tried to get old guy some honey, and one guy tried it and liked it, the other guy didn't want to try any. He said they cut this whole tree down yesterday and didn't have any trouble with these bees either, so they're a real calm, gentle bee. They had just come after me a little bit when I was standing right here with that chainsaw a while ago. Get back around here where I can see in this comb. Looking up here, this drone cone, I don't see any eggs or anything in it. Then this down here is going to be honey. We're going to carry it over here and we'll get it put in the cooler. look for the queen. I'm gonna get some foundations ready. Should be getting into some brood comb. Just watching for that queen. I'm not seeing her. There's quite a few of these bees have got pollen on them. Get that big knife. We can use this wax. This wax isn't that old either, so I'm gonna drop it down here. There's some honey right there on this side of it. Then move you guys off that cooler lid. What I'm hoping to do is find that queen and just leave my box sitting here on this log. Let them all go to that queen, especially once I get this comb moved into the box. And that's my hope. Some more honey on this side here. Alright, not seeing her. Let's grab a chunk of this honey down here. Looks like about 5 layers of comb, 6 layers of comb down through there. Start pulling a little bit of it out and see what we got, see if we can get it out of there. Alright, so that's already loose there. I'm seeing some larvae. I don't know if I hit that with the chainsaw. There is a little bit of older larvae down there. I'm not really seeing any eggs or younger larvae. There's an old queen cell. It looks like they may have swarmed just recently. Yeah, this side's got a lot of, it's damaged. A lot of it shook up, and of course I've got that saw debris in there. So we're gonna lay this to the side over here. I'm just going to prop it up right here and see what else we might can find. So I don't know, a lot of this is going to be damaged. Hopefully we'll find something that's usable. A lot of pollen and honey right here. There's a lot of brood right here, cat brood on this comb. It had a lot of sawdust on it. Let's see if we can maybe pull that out of there and look at it. Oh yeah, next comb's gonna be a lot better. We filled this top comb up with sawdust, but there's a lot of cat brood right there. A lot of pollen on this side, because I'm looking for that queen again. I'm not sure how that'll do. If we've got enough room, we may try to put it in comb and just see. You can see they got a lot of dead bees that are smashing that comb. Move the camera over here and let you guys see. There's a lot of dead bees, and when they fell, that comb pushed them into it and killed them. Let's see if we can get some more of it out of there and look at it. This is going to be mostly honey right here. Honey and pollen. Alright. We're going to just drop it down in this cooler right here. We'll put the honey on this side, take them brood frames and stack them up in here until we get everything out. And then I'll get up there to the back of the truck where it's easier to work, and we'll get them put into frames, into a box. So let's just keep going here and see what we got. This is a brood frame here. We'll just set it right down there for now. This one was got a lot of damage. We'll put it right there for now. See a lot of pollen on this next one here. We're gonna have quite a bit, some more comb up in this area up here, but let's see what we can get out of here. We'll go ahead and cut this pollen, and you can see that ring right there, ring of pollen, and then the honey. Let's go ahead and cut that in two right there just to make some room. I got one coming up out at me right now. May end up having to put that veil on. Alright, we got honey right here. I got some brood on the back of that frame right here. So food and pollen, a little bit of cat brood. We're going to put that over here and try to put it on the frame here in a little bit. You can see a bunch of larvae in this next comb underneath this one. Let's pull the rest of this one out and take a look at it. A lot of pollen. You can see that brood has been pushed out of those cells. A lot of that brood's been shook out. A lot of pollen on this one. A little bit of cat brood over here. I'm thinking a lot of it's probably going to be damaged. You see a lot of pollen right there. I'm just going to set it in here for now. This next frame is going to be brood frame, cat brood. A lot, you can see all that damaged brood has been pushed out. So I don't know if much of this comb is going to be able to be put into a box, but surely, hopefully we can find a couple of good pieces to get them to stay in that box. Alright guys, so I got a box in here, a bottom board on it. Box, we're fixing to, I pulled about half the foundation out of these frames. And we're fixing to start sticking some comb in here. Getting that comb set in this box. And I think there's going to be quite a bit more usable comb up here in this top end. So we'll try to get up there and get that opened up here in a second. But we're going to take care of some of this comb we've got out right now and get it put into this foundation. This piece right here got some food, pollen in it. We're going to stick it in here. See if we can find another piece about that. I actually put that thing in there, had my frame upside down. So I need to turn that around. My top bar is up here and the bottom bar. I want that honey on top. That's the way they had it in that tree. Let's move this. That's going to be better there. Find one more piece to go in here on this side of it. Drop it down in there. They got a lot of pollen here. A lot of pollen here. Let's see. You should be able to stick that in there like that. not the prettiest. There's just a frame. We're gonna stick it down in the box. I really think all my good frame or my good comb's still gonna be up here in this top end. So I'm gonna cut that up real quick. Open that up. Got that opened up a little bit more. We can see. Let's see what we got up in here. Another queen cell just opened up recently. There may be a virgin in here is why I'm really not seeing any eggs. I did see some older larvae. And I think that's the case. I think they just swarmed. And that's the third or fourth queen cell that we've seen opened up. There's another one here. And I'm not seeing any eggs. I'm just seeing larvae. It's really hard to tell with all that sawdust I done threw in those cells, but I really hadn't seen anything that for sure 100% I would say was eggs. So I think we probably got a virgin in here and they've already swarmed. So if we may not be able to do much with them. We're just gonna keep looking for that queen. If we can catch that virgin, they should stay with her just like they would an old queen. A few bees behind this comb right here. A lot of bees are out here, but I can't really figure out what that comb is doing. There we go. maybe. There we go, good bunch of bees here. Let's take a look. Take them over here to our box and shake them in there. Just looking for that queen. I think there may be another queen cell right there on the bottom. They're fatooning on each other there. Not seeing that queen though. It's going to take for right now and drop this down in this box. See if we can get it on one of these frames easy enough. Should hold it in there. Just gonna drop that down in there for now. A lot of bees out here on the front of it. Let's take a look right here and see if maybe we might just accidentally spot her. The way they're acting, I'm going to say they've got one, but I really do think it's probably a virgin one. All those open queen cells that we've seen. We'll go ahead and get the rest of that comb out of the log. If we hadn't spotted her by then, we'll come out here and start scooping some bees over into our box, and may end up moving our box right in here, leaving it tonight, seeing if we might can get them to go up into it maybe. Alright guys, it's probably been maybe about 10-15 minutes. Those bees have settled over here. I brought the box over. You can see, not just a huge bunch of bees, but what we're going to try to do is trim all these limbs up under them. I got this little handsaw. I'm going to try to trim those limbs up underneath them, get it open all the way down to our box, and then we're going to try to shake them in there. That's the plan anyway. Maybe we can get her in there that way. Hoping I can spot her. I'm just looking for her in here. If I can spot her and get her caught, that'll be the easiest thing. I'll run back over there to the truck and grab a clip and just sit here and look for her for a minute.
They all surround her right there?
Yeah. Yeah, they'll stay with her until they find a new home. So that's what I'm gonna get all these limbs out of the way, and that's what I'm gonna do is drop them in that box.
Well, you're getting them good and fired up.
Yeah, that's why I was trying not to get them flying.
Stand on that.
I'm gonna let them settle for a minute. I'm gonna drink me a Gatorade. Boy, I tell you, I got what to do.
But he'll work them in his shorts and flip them.
All right, y'all ready?
Okay.
Yes, so.
There she is.
She in the box?
All right, got the queen here, guys. Got her in this clip. So now what we'll do, yep, she's in there. So what we're gonna do is just drop that clip down in this box. We got some of that comb in here. Just gonna put her right on that piece of comb just like that. Drop her down in there. We're just gonna leave this box sitting here tonight. Put the lid on it. Alright. Now we'll sit here for a little bit and we'll watch all those bees go in that box. So we got her in that clip in the box. Still got quite a few bees up here thinking they can still smell her on her pheromone. We're going to start seeing these bees going in this box and settling. Probably 5-10 minutes. They're all going to figure out she's not up here anymore. She's down in that box. And yeah, we'll have them now. We'll leave this sitting here probably tonight. Is that all right? Y'all aren't going to burn this?
No, it'll be fine.
Probably leave them sitting here tonight, maybe a day or two, and then I'll come over here and get them, take them to the house one evening, early one morning before the sun gets up and they get to flying. But good deal. Glad we finally got that queen in that clip. You can see they're already starting to kind of fly around on that bottom board and go in there. See if we can shake some more of them off down there. They may. Crack that lid a little bit, make it easier for that pheromone, her pheromone to come out. Yeah, guys, it's been about 10 minutes. They're actually still piling back up here again. I wonder if maybe there ain't two queens in there. We've got the one down there in the clip, and they are going in that entrance down there at the bottom. Hopefully start seeing a bunch of them coming out and standing there fanning with their butts up in the air. But they're wanting to stay on this limb for some reason. But we're just going to leave them here tonight. They should settle in that box by in the morning. Alright guys, it's been about 5 more minutes. And they're starting to orient to that box. Still got quite a few up here on this limb, but I think it's just because that's where she was. They'll get that pheromone. They'll figure out she's in that box, and by tonight, tomorrow, they'll be in it. Only thing left, I'm going to take this ratchet strap and strap the bottom and the lid on that box tight, and talk to the property owner. They're not going to push any of this brush up, so we're going to leave it sitting here overnight. Hopefully come back and get it tomorrow afternoon and I should have the majority of these bees down in that box. Put this ratchet strap on there just to keep a raccoon or something of that nature. We might actually even move it right over here. I think that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and move it right over here on top of this log, and we'll set it right up there once we get it ratchet strapped, and that'll give them a little bit, get it up off the ground a little bit. Anyway, all right guys, so got that box ratchet strapped, got to set it on that log, get it up off the ground just a little bit. And yeah, still quite a few bees right here on that limb. I'm gonna go ahead and give them one last shake. I'm gonna head to the house. I'm wore out. It's been a hot day, humid day. I've been going all day, and I'm ready to get home, get a shower, and sit down. But we'll check back in with you guys, and I'll show you me moving this box tomorrow afternoon. Get it set there out at my house. Just gonna take a quick look. Doing that, I'm just gonna take a quick look, see if there's a second queen, because it really is kind of taking them a little longer than what I think it should, but they are going into that box. But I'm just taking a real quick glance for another queen, and I'm actually, if I find one, I've got a place for her. I'm making started playing around with some mini mating nukes this year that I 3D printed, and it would be nice to have a queen to get one of those started. I've got some cells that are actually getting ready to hatch, but they haven't yet. And I got some bees in one of them. But anyway, all right, not seeing one. We'll give them one last shake, get them in the air. They're going to that box and fanning on that opening now. So, all right, we're gonna leave them at that. I'm gonna head to the house, and we'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. All right, guys, made it back to the house. It's actually the next day. We were gonna go pick those bees up this afternoon, but I was out working today, and a storm come through, shut me down on my work, and I was close to where those bees were at, so I went in and just stopped by there real quick and grabbed them. Just picked them up, set them on the trailer. We're gonna, a few of them hanging out on the front there. What we're gonna do now, guys, is carry them over here. Just got a couple of cinder blocks set down for a base. We're gonna set them on for now. We're gonna have to go in here and do some manipulation on the frames, because I left quite a few frames foundationless in here, and I don't want them to build all wonky on it. But I'm gonna wait, hopefully catch the sun peeking through between some of these storms. All right, just gonna set them right here for now. I'm gonna take that strap off real quick and take a peek at them. Quite a few bees in there, but we got several of those frames are foundationless. So what I'm gonna do, all right, that's better there. So I just adjusted those blocks the opposite direction. That box is real wobbly. Now it's solid there. What I'm gonna do, go in here and show you guys what I did with all that comb and honey that we pulled out and put in that cooler. I just put it in the freezer overnight. Now I'm gonna go in here and place some of that comb that's usable. We're gonna put it in some frames. All right, guys, so there's the honey right here on this top shelf. That's all that honeycomb that we pulled. We just set it in here in the freezer in that tray. Let it kill any parasites or all those beetles that were in it. All of them be dead. Now we'll be able to run it through a filter, clean it up, and We can harvest this honey and eat it, or we can, if we think it may be too dirty from the sawdust or all the bugs that were in it, we can still filter it, run it through our process, put it up, and then we can use it to feed the bees if we need to. And then down here is this extra comb that we pulled out of there. I'm fixing to go ahead and set this comb out, and I'm gonna go through it here in a little bit, let it thaw out, and get it put into some frames, and so we can drop it back down in that beehive. There's still a lot of resources, like you can see all the pollen, and this one, a little bit of brood right up there, but those bees will clean that brood up. But we're gonna cut this good comb out of here that we can, and get it placed in some frames, and we'll get it put back down in that beehive once the sun pops back up. I'm gonna go ahead and step out here and show you guys the cooler that we hauled that honey home with. Put it out last night about dark. The bees didn't find it yesterday, but and then got up this morning, the sun was shining, but before the bees started flying, the storms come. We just tilted it up on the side, and we can see 4 or 5 bees there now. They're starting to come out and find it. They'll get all this little honey leaked out on the concrete here. They'll get all that cleaned up, get that cooler cleaned up once they get out flying and find it. But anyway, this right here, I just got them out here from where I harvested some honey the other day. So basically, this right here is what I'll use to drain that honey. We got these 2 containers. This one fits on top of the other one. We got a honey drain on that bottom one. And it's got a hole cut in this one. I need to clean it out where I set it up here. But I can take that coin excluder, place it right in there, and then we can just take all that honeycomb, put it in there, and let it drain through that excluder. And then we can run it through our double filters and harvest it. All right, guys, we're gonna end up with 4 frames, and we just cut some good comb out of there and pieced it together. Got it held on here with these rubber bands. Got a big piece here. Got some food. This is mostly pollen and some honey, and there's going to be quite a bit of dead brood on this side, but those bees, I believe, are going to be strong enough to clean all this comb up. A lot of sawdust still in there where I use that chainsaw, but I don't have any comb to put in there with them. I'm out of all my comb, so I believe this is going to be better than not having any comb. So there's one there. Got another one here. A lot of brood, a little bit of brood around this outside edge. And we got pollen there in the middle. And this is just some drone comb they had in there on that side with some honey on top. Same thing over here. There's a big sheet right here, a brood comb that they had that we pulled out of there. A lot of that dead larva in there. Like I said, I believe those bees will clean that up and shape that up. It's still frozen a little bit. You can see how that's bowed. This comb is bowed. With it being frozen, I don't want to try to form it in there because it'll just crack. That wax is real brittle when it's frozen. If you try to form it up right now, it'll just break and crack. So we're going to let these thaw out. There's one more piece right here, just a half a frame. Got some food in it, a lot of open cells. A few dead bees you can see there in it. But that queen should be able to go straight into laying this pretty easy after they get it cleaned up. We may try to find one more piece just to put over here on this other side. Real quick, we can probably do that. But anyway, that's all that's left. Just gonna let these thaw out. I'm gonna get that honey, probably get it in there on the drain, get it to draining, and hopefully we can catch the sun coming out between swarms, and we can jump in there real quick, check that hive out, and get these frames dropped down in there for them to start using. Found a piece right here we're gonna try to use. This comb right here. There's some drone comb with a little bit of nectar in it. Those trees are always fun to find them, and you can see that branch going through that comb right there. We're just going to pull that out, but that ought to fit in there pretty nicely right there. We'll make that do. About the biggest piece we have left here. All this other comb that's in here, we will render it down. We'll use the wax. There isn't any of it. This right here may be the oldest looking comb that's in there, and it's not bad at all. We'll be able to render that down, and whenever we get the rest of our wax cappings, next time we harvest, we'll render all this down into wax. Anyway, guys, that's what I'm fixing to do. Put this in here, get it banded in, and yeah, Just wait for everything to thaw out and time it right and get it put in the hive. All right, guys, so just the time we were in there combing those, or filling those 4 frames up with comb, those bees have gone back and told the other bees, this honey's here, by the end of the day they'll have all this cleaned up. We just brought that old comb out here and propped it out here. Gonna let those bees go through it, just like a community feeder. Let them get what resources they can out of there and take back to their hives. They'll get all this honey up off the ground. We got that honey in here in our drainer. These are 4 frames. We're just gonna let them thaw out there, and then we got that honey up here in those pans to drain. You can tell I just pulled it out of the freezer. It's rock solid hard in there. We're just gonna prop it up right there, let it thaw, fall down on that screen and drain out of there. It'll take a few days. We'll keep it stirred up, that comb smashed around, and get all the honey that we can out of before we put it out there and let the bees clean the rest of it up, and then we'll render what wax is left out of this. All right, guys, hopefully we'll get a sunny spot here in a minute. The rain will quit and I'll be able to show you going out there into that hive and dropping them 4 frames in there and just giving that hive a real quick evaluation, see where they're at, and possibly letting that queen go. I believe she'll stay, especially if we get through old comb in there with them. All right, guys, it's been about an hour. We went inside, working on editing this video. Sun popped out. We're in between storms right now. We're going to try to get in that hive real quick, but those bees have decided to get out as well with the sun. They're cleaning up all this comb and honey we got over here. Got these combs. We're gonna step down here in this hive, go through it, and yeah, see what they look like. All right, see a lot of bees enjoying that sun popping out. They're out flying and going. Hopefully you guys can see them coming and going right here. This is the one we got out of that log. We're gonna drop down here real quick and go through it, get these frames put in there. We got rubber band to those foundations, and maybe release that queen if we can. All right, guys, let's jump in here real quick, see what we got. Don't have any smoke, anything. If we need to, we can jump in there and get that smoke going. So here's just some frames that I pulled the foundation of while we were out there yesterday. Shake those bees off in there. Let's toss this to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping some of these down in there. This next one is some of that comb that we cut off. I think this is going to be where our queen's going to be clipped right there. Yep. So we've got her right here in this clip. Let's pull it out of there, make sure she's doing okay, and drop that comb back in there. Yep, I can see her running around in there. We're just going to lay her right there for the moment. Let's look at this next frame that we cut out of there yesterday, and those bees are on it, working it. Alright, we're going to leave them that. Let's look at this next one. I think this was one that I had in there, just a foundation they had started. It had a little bit of comb drawn out on it already. Yep, those bees are on there. Already got honey stored in there. So I'm going to drop it back down in here. We're going to leave it on this outside edge. We're going to take these other 4 frames. We're going to drop them right down here in the middle. I'm going to pull out one more of these foundations. This one's got quite a few bees on it, so we're going to leave it we're going to leave it in there. We're going to grab this outside edge one. Shake what bees are on there off. All right, scoot this back over to the edge. Both of these we're going to scoot over. Take this comb that we've got. Now we're probably going to see these bees cleaning a lot of that brood and stuff out of there. Just try to keep it centered as much as we can. We're going to pull. There we go. Scoot it over a little bit. You can see all that dead brood that's in there, some dead bees. We can get off what we can just to save them the work. But they'll get all that cleaned up. Get those bees pulled out the entrance and drop it down there. We're going to get them shut up here real quick. Alright, this is that comb that was frozen and bent when we put it in there. We're just going to kind of straighten it out a little bit on that frame now. Alright. Drop it right in there. Push all these together. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and release this queen. I'm pretty sure she's gonna stay. We've got all their old comb in there. Let's see if we can get her coming out of there. Actually, while I got her caught, I'm going to run in and grab a blue marker. Come back out here, we're going to get her marked real quick, then drop her down in there. Leave her laying right there real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, I got us a paint pen here. Shake her out of there. And see if we can catch her when she comes out. There she is right there on the edge. Had quite a few bees in there with her whenever I caught her. We know this is going to be a virgin. Feel pretty confident this is a virgin queen that was just born. Had all those there she is right there coming over. See her there, guys? I'm just going to grab her by the wings. We got her foot caught right there. We're just going to put a little dot right there on top of her. Hang on, she's twisting there. Oh, she just flew. She's a flighty little thing. I'll grab her by those legs. There we go. Got her blue dot, but we know she's going to be a virgin because we've seen those cells where they had swarmed, and I didn't see any eggs in that I could tell. Let's see if we can get her to go. Drop her right down in there. There she goes. She's down in there now. But so we know she's going to be a young queen. Hopefully they'll decide to stay, and we can get us a good virgin new queen. Let's get that lid put back on there now, guys, and just let them be. We'll come back in a week or so. We'll keep an eye on them every day, make sure they're still here. Then we'll drop back in here in a week or so and make sure she's got eggs and she's laying and doing fine. All right, got that lid on there. That's gonna be it, guys. I'm gonna gather up all this stuff, go get it put back up. But thanks for watching, and got us another little bit of work on our end. We got us a bunch of honey and some more bees. So yep, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.